looking on the inside. You're waiting for your life to walk away. Writings on the wall. You'll just dream forever. Forever.
What's up, guys? This is Hoodie7 RCT bringing you another video for you guys. Once again, I bring back which will probably be my final video. That is, of course, until if you want more of it, of course, I'll keep bringing it up. But this is kind of like the third and final episode in the whole Warframe Switch series. Never intended to be a series. It was more like a one-shot review kind of deal, but given the massive scope of the game and how everything has basically blown up, I don't think one video would have done the game justice. I don't think 3 videos actually does the game justice, considering the amount of things that you get to do, the amount of changes that the game goes through. The more you get into it, the more hours you pour in. But that being said, this is going to be like it for now. There's only progress to be done. There's so many stuff to cover. I don't think this video is going to be enough, but I want it to be more like a let's call it a solo or pseudo kind of show and tell, where I'm gonna be able to show you hopefully you'll be able to compare it to my past videos. The first one was a stream, the second one was a video going in and kind of explaining a little bit more in detail. The first one was more gameplay, you know, going through the motions, just starting off, of course, and it is such a far cry from that, you know, those beginnings. And I don't even have not even a fourth of the time invested as so many other players out there, especially on the PC side. So the next thing that I could say, basically, or the next thing to say is I'm officially a Tenno, that endearing term from the Warframe community. And a little bit more on that community. It's been said a lot. I've been hearing like over and over again how awesome the community is, how helpful it. I've had a chance to actually prove that. Everything from looking information, one of the best wikia that I've seen so far to date has to be the Warframe one. It's so detailed. It's something that even to use in another game, using a wiki or any kind of information to help me out in the game would be such a no-no in any other game aside from this one. This one is so massive and has so many terms that it's actually required. It would be a good thing to actually go into these sites, especially the wikia, the official wikia for the Warframe game, because it's so rich in information. Everything is updated, everything is on point, and again, the community is very, very helpful, even to a guy like me who's a little bit on the antisocial side, or at least it's not that I'm antisocial, it's more that I'm kind of tend to play solo, and that in a way has made my experience to be a bit different. Now, of course, before I head into the game, one more thing that I want to point out is there's so many things that can put off the new gamer. I've known for a fact, I have a whole bunch of friends. Recently, I've seen Glowing Rice going into the game. Glowing Rice, keep at it, man. I've seen that you put a few hours, so hopefully you'll pass the story missions, the first introductory story mission. So hopefully I'll have Glowing Rice teaming up with me very soon, and maybe, who knows, maybe if the clan grows and we're able to have a full roster I'll make another update, but this time multiplayer. So that being said, and enough of my rambling, let's go into the gameplay scene here and boot it up. Before I do, of course, the reason why I call it 60 plus days is because, of course, I'm not counting days anymore. As you can see here, I've poured almost 500 hours into the game. Any other game besides this one, I would have never put in so many hours. I don't know, maybe in the future I'll find another one, but for the time being, I think this is the game that I have put the most hours into, at least in such a short span of time, considering. So yeah, and I'm still not even close to being tired of the game. I said that in the second video, and I reiterate it here on this one. Now, as I go in here, I like to take the chance to say thanks to the people out there, social media, very supportive. Of course, one thing that I would like to point out, I'm gonna throw it here. I'm sorry I do this, guys, but this is well, actually I'll leave it for the end of the video. Let's focus on this first. Now, of course, one major thing that you're gonna see from the outset on this video compared to the last two that I made is, of course, now we have the new and awaited Fortuna update. We've been waiting quite a bit for that to be released. Now, it was a little bit tricky for me to get it installed because it ended up messing up my SD card. I recommend that everybody who downloads the game for the first time, if you have a chance and have the space, try to do it to internal memory. It's much more quicker. The load times are much better. You don't have to worry about your SD getting messed up. Because again, since this is a game that has so many updates and stuff and hot fixes, it has to update read and write to the card. I don't know, and I was like basically it basically messed up my card. I'm not blaming the game, it happened, but so it doesn't happen to you, try to do it to the internal memory. Now let me move to the full screen. Now I am going to try to keep as much as possible the video short, but there's so much stuff. As you can see, my main Warframe, I call them main because I have a whole bunch of them and I love each and every one of them, but there are a couple of frames that you're gonna be wanting to stick with. And this one is one of the most popular because Rhino is kind of like the tanky version. He takes a lot of damage, you know, can withstand a lot of damage. And of course, this armor like setup that I customize him with is just so awesome. Now that I expanded to get some more color sets and spend a little bit more platinum and stuff like that, which, by the way, there's a lot of customizations at this point. I think the best thing to do, so I'm not running around like a headless chicken, first off, let me show you my profile. I recently got to Mastery Rank 10. Now, Mastery Rank in this game...
Operator, were you visualizing a bloody battle?
Let me...
Me too.
He's always interrupting. Okay. Mastery Rank is something that is tied to advances, weapons and stuff that you can acquire. They are kind of gated to your Mastery Rank. You need to level up your mastery rank to be able to have a more broader selection of stuff for you to acquire, mainly weapons and stuff like that. Now that girl that's standing next to a Warframe, I'm not gonna say anything about it because that's closely tied to the storyline and stuff, which I do not want to ruin for anybody. So if you're new, a bunch of syndicates here that I need to work on because, of course, the challenges that I've been able to do so far, there are so many more. So yeah, mastery rank at this point at level 10. This is something that not necessarily correlates to the time spent, because I've seen people in much, you know, fewer hours actually getting higher ranks. It all depends on what you focus your time on. The more Warframes you acquire and the more you level each one up, the quicker you actually rise in mastery ranks, or the mastery rank tests become available. Now I have just kept the mastery rank at a point where it's not my priority for now, because I am just taking in basically the lore, the storylines, farming and grinding and doing a whole bunch of other stuff that not necessarily works in favor of getting a higher mastery rank. So I'm not like in a hurry to go crazy like level 20 something or whatever mastery rank, because it's not something that I'm compelled to do at this point in time. But that being said, mastery rank 10 is okay. I get to have a wide selection of weapons that I can actually build in the foundry. So yeah, you know, I'm not really limited by my mastery rank as of yet. In terms of equipment, of course, I need to show you how the makeup of this has changed. Of course, I don't have the Excalibur that I had in the beginning. That was my starting Warframe, and to this point I have used them quite a bit, but as you can see here, the list has grown in basically the amount of Warframes that I have obtained. There are several of these that I have got, and I marked it right here, like this one, Trinity Prime, which I got from the Twitch promotion, where you get a free month. You subscribe to Twitch and you get this free with a couple of weapons and stuff. Very awesome. However, as you can see, she's rank 6. I haven't played much with her because basically, you know, she's a better suited for multiplayer because of her healing. She's kind of like a healer. So I haven't had like the really strong urge to play her, main her for the time being. I'm not gonna go through all of them because it's gonna take, of course, too much time. But my favorite so far, of course, aside from the first Excalibur one that I use, and Rhino, of course, which is my main that I use for most of the toughest missions, that I need more grindy missions and stuff like that. Reason why, again, I haven't risen up in mastery rank quick is because since Rhino basically is, I've already formed him 4 times, which is basically you polarize, which is taking a forma, you polarize, and what it does is resets the rank to 0, and you start once again and you rank it up all the way up to 30 again. And the more you do this, you can only do this when you're rank 30, and as you can see here by this little icon, I've done it 4 times. What that means is that the more forma you add and the more you re-rank it, so to speak, the more capacity you're going to have over here to add bigger and better mods to make that Warframe even more awesome than it already is. Now you can have different configurations with the mods and stuff, the mod collection has grown to a crazy amount. As you can see here, it keeps going and going. Now it has been introduced, the Riven mods and the Prime mods, and there's such a long list of stuff that you can add that all carry on with their own missions and stuff. Very, it sounds complicated, I know, guys. It sounds very off-putting to the newer player, but believe me, stick with it and you're gonna see the lore is gonna bring you in. And the difference in gameplay mechanics from mission to mission and from stuff that you have available to do is gonna be more than enough to entice you, because you're gonna find, at the very least, you're gonna find one or more ways of gameplay that's gonna kind of bring you in, and you're gonna have fun. It's tons of fun. Now going back to this, another one of my favorites, Necros, of course, simply because he's a badass. I mean, just look at him. It's like Lord from Hell or some shit like that. That, of course, is he's customized with some custom skins and stuff like that. But of course, you can do so many other stuff. You have 3 configurations where you can customize the look of the character to your liking, and you can just save it, and just whenever you want it, just bring it up. In this case, you know, A, B, C, and just choose the one that you want. And if you want, let's say this one, and you want to tweak it a little bit more, change the helmet, change the skin, change the coloring, or whatever, you can do it right there. It's available for you. Now, another introduction or another layer of customization that I've been able to acquire is, of course, now I have vehicles, because with the Fortuna update, now you can use the K drives, which are basically hoverboards. Yes, you heard correctly, hoverboards that you have to your disposal to actually play and do tricks on a hoverboard on Orb Valis, which is the open world section, the new open world section that you have available in the Fortuna update. Now here you can also customize, and check it out, guys, you can customize the arc wing, or as I like to call it, the shoot 'em up section. Becomes a 3D shooter, because these missions you go flying around with your Warframe and shooting stuff down. So yeah, another gameplay layer. Now going to the list further down, most of these guys that you see here I've done through story quests that you acquire the blueprints and stuff for you to basically build them in the foundry, like in Arrows right here. This one is story driven. This one you need to complete a story quest to get the blueprints, and there's some other set of stuff that you need to do in order to get the components to build it. The last one that I built, and it took basically opening the whole star chart, is Chroma. This is one, for me at the very least, a lot of people have been able to acquire or build this one like really, you know, not so bad, pretty easy for them to do, because of course they play in groups. So farming and grinding is a lot better when you do it that way. That I cannot overstate it enough. My experience has been very different with the game, in the sense that if you go in, you have tons of friends, and those friends come with you to play regularly, everything is going to seem much more easier, because of course you're going to be together, you're going to be able to farm and do stuff that's going to consume a lot less time. If you play solo, of course, that's kind of like multiplying the difficulty factor, but in many cases and instances it's a lot better to actually play solo, and some of the areas you're gonna have to be forced to play solo. So in my case, you know, is mileage is gonna vary for a lot of people, but for me, I've enjoyed the fact of playing solo, because of course there's some other stuff that you can just go public here in your settings. Like right now, if I go to navigation tool, I'm gonna go here in a second. Let me show you off this guy right here, Chroma, which, let me show you how he looks in the original. Well, actually, I don't have him in the original form. This is the closest one, and he's highly modified here, customized. As you can see, you can do so much stuff with them. But Chroma is an example of something taken to the next level. Not only do you have to get components and stuff for you to build them, and not only are those components, his main components, his blueprints and stuff, thrown around every single planet in the star chart. Like, you need to play or open up, you need to have the complete star chart open. I'm going to show you that in a second, in order for you to reach the very last component that you need. So you're not going to be able to do this in a span of a couple of days unless you're playing non-stop, which I cannot do, unfortunately. It's something that not all Warframes, you know, acquiring them is going to take you the same amount of time or effort. But after you do it, you get this sense of accomplishment. You feel so good that you really want to, you know, just enjoy after waiting for so long or after grinding for so long. And this is the case with this one. This one is so awesome and so different, and I have to applaud Digital Extremes, because Chroma is a main Warframe that basically has these quirks, these nice little stuff that no other Warframe has. Like, for example, the fact that you can take his effigy off, or, you know, basically his armor. This is something that can't be done with the other Warframes. So this in itself, and the fact that this armor, this effigy, becomes a gameplay mechanic, because one of his abilities is to actually take it, the effigy will leave his body and will become sort of this guardian who's going to be fighting alongside him. So that makes him very cool. Second thing that makes him extremely cool and useful is the fact that what makes it difficult for you to get him built is the fact that you have to get the components for him, but also you need to get components from other Warframes to fuse with his. So long story short, you basically need to double the amount of required stuff in order to build him, and that is pretty awesome in the end, because as you can see right here, if you change his energy, since he has now four components, different components from different Warframes, so he's gonna have different abilities, meaning that right now, if I change the color of this one to, let's say, the energy to blue,
Tenno, a new
you're gonna
alert
see,
has begun. It will be marked on navigation.
You're gonna see that the little icon here that said poison now says lightning. So now, by changing a color, you have another, basically another elemental energy to work with, and the powers change completely. So it's a nice little touch that they gave.
Ordis did not think the operator could be more
To this
attractive. Wrong again, Ordis.
And Ordis is a pain in the ass from time to time. He talks so much. But anyways, that's basically, and then the last but not least that I wanted to show you here, which I acquired basically today. This is my first Prime access, and it's probably gonna be my last for a long time, because I can't afford doing this. But I really felt the need to do it. It's kind of my way of showing Digital Extremes, you know, thank you for giving me this awesome experience. I went and I got Mesa Prime, which is now the current Prime access that you have right now. This one right here, she is a badass. I felt compelled, and I know a lot of my friends out there are gonna know why, because I love the whole gunslinger stuff, It reminds me so much of the Dark Tower series from Stephen King. This right here looks kind of like a futuristic female version of Roland. So yeah, those double shooters right there, 6 shooters, come with the Warframe, and come, see this one right here, Jagara Prime, and you have the Redeemer Prime, which is kind of like a gun sword or gun shotgun, sword shotgun. And then she has a special power called Regulator Prime, and look at that. So yeah, now she is of course unranked because, like I said, I got her today, and I'm gonna be having fun with her and many of the others. Now let's go to the star chart. Wait, let me take. Now of course the Prime Access gear is something that's I don't recommend everybody doing unless you really enjoy the game and have put time. Believe me, I'm one that I've always said, and it's not going to change regardless of the game. I'm not one to spend money needlessly in DLC and stuff like that nature, and especially these access are on the expensive side. However, I made the plunge, I made the decision to do it because I have invested in it and I see that the worth is in it for me, and yeah, I got a good deal. I feel it's a good deal, and of course it's a way of actually, you know, thanking the company for not screwing over with this game, or not screwing over with us and trying to, you know, drain us of our money. Thank you, Digital Extreme. Keep it up like this, please don't mess up. Now you're gonna see here the star chart, or the playground, as I like to call it, has expanded quite a bit. Now, before I had only access to a few planets and a few missions. Now I have access to the whole damn thing, and that of course is I did it because I was going after, you know, building up chroma and stuff like that. So much to do, so many places to go, and of course up here, which in the beginning you only have like a few icons, now has changed into a lot more stuff like events, which they have one going on, War on Corpus. I'm gonna go into that probably later on tonight. Now the quests, these are all the storyline quests. These are the story heavy with lore quests that I can do, and a lot of them giving you parts or blueprints for you to get even more Warframes. I have yet to do them. The weekly alerts and the alerts in general, which I can do, you know, there is no shortage of things to do. Invasions are now a thing. They're really fun. You get a whole bunch of stuff out of them. Syndicate missions, which of course I am doing vigorously, because I get, by doing these and raising the standing that I have with each one of them, I get some bonus mods, very specific and exclusive mods from the syndicates that are very helpful and fun, of course. Void Fisher, which is basically to go and open up these little relics that you find in certain missions, and those will give you some exclusive prime variants of your Warframe parts for you to build another layer of stuff that you can do. So there is no shortage. These are the sorties. I have yet to play these because these are very high level, and most of these are locked to me because I still need, even though I have opened the whole star chart, I haven't opened each and every one of the nodes, which some of these missions use, like for example Sedna, which is the last one that I opened up. Even though I have played a lot of them, there's still a few nodes that are locked. These blinking ones right here, these are the ones that I need to finish in order to open the whole planet up and a lot of these missions, they use some of those locations that I haven't been to yet. Now the last one that I basically did was a hive mission. I can't remember right now where it was. If it was on Eris. I did one that was a hive mission. Let me see if I can remember here. Anyways, the latest one that I did was a hive mission with the infested, and it was crazy. It felt like you were playing Aliens because of everything from the music, the setting, the mechanics. And I'm far into the game. I'm at a point where I'm saying to myself, well, I've seen everything that I can see in terms of the gameplay. No, again, they come with something new to kind of like take me by surprise, and I'm gonna be playing that mode a lot. Now, of course, I'm gonna close the video up with showing you guys what's Fortuna. So let's head over there so you guys can see that. And then with this, I will close this video up. Hopefully, you guys watching out there, hopefully you'll be able to give this one a try if you haven't already. Let me close the chat. It makes a lot of clutter. This is basically the hub. Kind of like the hub world, where you go to talk to different, people who have their own businesses and shops, and you can get.
She looks peaceful out there, but she'll turn.
Different things.
For that inevitability.
I haven't even touched this area yet.
I'll be here when next you return.
Because again, this is like completely separate. This is open world. What I will do, however, is I'm going to go out here. I'm going to go out here so you can see the open world aspect of it. I don't know why I have guys joining squads, because I did not ask. Oh, I'm joining a squad. Oh, isn't that something? Now, these open world sections, of course, just like what are you doing? No. Actually, let me put it solo. Okay, sorry guys. Now, these sections, they have quite a bit of loading time, so you have to like wait it out a bit before you're able to go. I mean, if you go from Fortuna, yeah, it's gonna take quite a bit, but once you're there, you're gonna see the landscape has changed very drastically. Now you have a snowy setting, and of course, what better way to use that snowy setting than to use the mentioned K-Drive. So now you can go snowboarding, dude. Now this, something that I haven't mastered yet. Not only is this a fun way to travel around, making life much easier in such a huge place. Because I'm going to show you for a quick second here how the map looks. Yeah, this is actually the map. That white little dot in the middle is me. So is there a lot to do here? Yes. Is there a lot of places to go to? Yeah. Oh! I guess they're picking a fight. I'm shooting down everybody. Testing out my new sword there. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna get out of here because by going into this place, since I had a mission pending there that I didn't go in, it basically threw me into the mission. But I'm gonna go back to that later on. Now, I am taking my time with it, in the sense that I'm gonna go down through lists that I make myself up of things that I want to acquire and things that I want to do in the game. But you can do it however you want. There's such flexibility in the stuff that you can do and how you can go about it. And again, I don't know how else to put it. The game is super awesome and super fun. Now, last but not least, aside from all the customization that you can do to your warframes, to your weapons, to your stuff, to your ship, as you can see, I have posters and stuff like that put on here. And not only that, the game begins with this right here locked up. Now, these are 3 individual rooms. I will not tell you what they are, because that would be kind of ruining the story aspect of it. Needless to say, they all are
I've been thinking.
oh my
Operator.
god, here goes Ordis
I
again.
thought you'd want to know.
No, I didn't. Thank you very much. Okay, as I was saying, these all are tied to very incredible storylines, so I wouldn't want to go messing that up for you. Needless to say, you will have access to more of the ship, and the way it happens is pretty much incredible. You're gonna love it. If you're a sci-fi lover like me, everything about this game and the ambience and stuff you're gonna love. So yeah, I mean, that basically covers what I wanted to show you guys for now. By the way, these statues right here are statues that you can take into to a place where you can convert them into endo, which are basically the fuel that you need to create and customize your mods. If you have any questions, I mean, there are tons of people basically online. They have done a whole bunch of videos on Warframe so far. That's why I was a little hesitant in making my own, but I guess I said in the end, I told AfroSoul, you know, I'm gonna do it with my point of view, from my age bracket, and also being a Nintendo Switch Warframe player, because I don't see much of that. I see a lot of people putting up videos that have to do with more, you know, Warframe on PC and Warframe on PlayStation 4 perhaps, but I haven't seen many on the Switch, so I just had to throw my 2 cents into the whole thing. I hope that in some way the video helped you in deciding if you were a little doubtful into diving in. The game is free and you can play free for as long as you want. You're not forced to buy platinum or buy stuff. The stuff that is available there is basically customizations mostly, even though there are some things like components and certain things that you can buy with platinum, but for the most part, everything that you can buy, you can acquire through other means, you know, basically through gameplay. So you don't feel cheated out. Believe me, if I would have seen any shady stuff, I would have called them out, probably do it unfiltered or something, and just, you know, say it as it is. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry that was long-winded. It took a long time, longer than I wanted, but hey, I'm happy that I did it. I'm happy that you're around to watch it. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you will give the video a like and you subscribe. If you really did, please do that. And of course, I need to do this real quick. Check that link. Is my merch that I have on the site. Check it out. No compromises. Got a few items there with the RCT branding. Hope you like, and if you do, then go for it. If you want something different there on leave me a couple of comments in the videos or any other the other videos that I make for you guys. And that's gonna be all for today. Hopefully the guys that I know that are almost there, which is Bad Luck and Glowing Rice, hopefully I'll see you guys in Warframe very soon, because really the dojo is waiting. It's freaking awesome. I already did a whole bunch of rooms and it's ready to go, but I'm a lonely Tenno on the Switch on my side, and when it comes to the clans and stuff like that. So that's gonna be all, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Be safe and have fun.
Looking on the inside, you're waiting for your life to walk away. Writings on the wall, you just dream.